So, next up in our marathon is The Incredible Hulk.
Now, I think this movie gets kind of a bad rap. I think it's underrated.
Yeah. It is kind of sad to me that, it's not the worst of the Marvel Avengers movies. Yet now it does seem to be the one that they're most trying to pretend didn't happen.
Yeah.
Even though there's nothing going on here that really breaks the Hulk at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're trying to wipe it from canon, like X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
They're more just kind of not referencing it at all. Like it just came out in the news that from an interview that one of the reasons they don't make more solo Hulk movies is because they'd have to split the profits with Universal.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't. I suppose they could. So they could make more Hulk movies if they wanted to, even if it's a tricky character to do by himself. But they don't because of money.
I remember when this movie started, I was so relieved that we weren't going to have to slog through the origin again.
Yes.
That they just kind of put all that shit right in the opening credits, and then we just jump ahead to the real story, which is
Spider-Man.
Which is Bruce Banner on the run, trying to keep the monster down. That's most Hulk stories right there.
Yeah.
And that's where we raise the curtain here. So that was a big load off my mind, and it was really interesting seeing him, all the ways he's, with all the meditating and stuff, and all the, the breathing exercises and the anger management techniques. That whole first 20 minutes or so, there's a lot of it that has very little dialogue, a lot of it's in a foreign language, a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see in a Hollywood movie.
But obviously before this, we had the earlier attempt at a Hulk movie, which was directed by Ang Lee in 2003. Which is kind of faded from memory, I guess. It wasn't a huge hit. I think when they crushed the numbers, this one made almost about the same amount.
Yeah. It cost a little bit more, made about the same. So
yeah, I expect if they were to make another Hulk movie, it would do a lot better business with its connection to the Avengers movies. I think people have really warmed up to the character over time.
Yeah, they would probably have a lot more confidence. They would know. They would have a better idea of how best to handle it. They've gotten their awkward phases out, so that'd be nice. Again, with the origin, if there hadn't been another Hulk movie before this would still be a great place to start things off.
Yeah, and also the contrast between the two, obviously, is that the Ang Lee movie is much more arty and meditative, and this one is a little more, obviously it's much shorter because they took out a lot of the quiet drama scenes, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of good scenes in there.
Yeah.
And they wanted to focus more on the action.
Yeah,
which is probably a good move, but even still, I wish they had included more of those scenes. When we watched it this time, we would sometimes, because you can access these on Blu-ray much easier. Yeah. We would, go to the menu and switch over to one of the deleted scenes that we remember being really good while we were watching the movie. So that was pretty good. This scene, a lot of the scenes are involving William Hurt as General Ross.
I feel like that is sort of one of the things that watching it this time does sort of bring it down compared to the other Marvel movies, is that it is very straightforward in its presentation. The characters are not as arch and dynamic as what we would get in these later films. They were just content with making a pretty, bland conspiracy thriller for a lot of its running time.
And chase movie.
Yeah, chase movie. Some great chases, great action, great special effects. But whenever the characters stop and talk to each other, it just kind of sort of grinds to a halt.
I didn't feel that way.
Maybe not grinds to a halt, but it's definitely among the less interesting portions of the film.
Yeah, I still really did like the cast, and it is kind of unfortunate that we had to lose Edward Norton. Although Mark Ruffalo is really good, but just for the sake of continuity, I wish that Norton had stuck around.
I feel like that's the larger reason why this is ignored more, because there was this other guy playing Banner, but we're not going to talk about that.
And we kind of had a falling out over that.
One of my favorite scenes in all these movies is the whole bottling plant sequence where the goons close in and the military guys close in, and then he hulks out, but it's all in the darkness and guys getting thrown around and stuff, and then we finally see him, and it's this great ominous monster sequence. It's such a really cool scene, just all in 5 minutes, everything that I felt was lacking in the Ang Lee film.
Yeah.
There's real stakes, real thrills, and Hulk actually being a monster and not just some gentle, misunderstood behemoth.
So another thing is that, and I complained about this in Iron Man, about how at the end the the bad guy, our designated villain, just kind of loses his mind for no reason so he can have a fight with the hero. The same thing kind of happens too with Blonsky, played by Tim Roth, who gets himself injected with the Hulk's blood cocktail, which mixes with the beta super soldier servant formula in the system and turns him into the Abomination here. So you can have a throwdown with the Hulk. Now, I think it works better here just because it fits better with the Hulk. And, it fits better for him to just have a throwdown with another monster. So I don't complain about it as much here.
There's a lot of complaints about how once he becomes the Abomination, he kind of stops being Tim Roth or like anything interesting that he was bringing to that character kind of goes away, and now he's just a guy who wants to tear through everything. The scene that always sticks out at me between Blonsky and Stearns, it feels like these actors are in two different movies, or like one of them didn't get the script, or they just kind of have to play off each other in a really weird, awkward manner.
Also we can work up to him becoming the Abomination.
And these are supposed to be eventually Hulk's two main bad guys, Leader and Abomination, and they don't really gel so well in this particular film.
I mean, that's another thing we lose by not having another Hulk movie to follow this one, is we don't get to see what happens to Samuel Stearns, played by Tim Blake Nelson, as his head inflates and he transforms into the Leader. So I wish we would get to see that, but so far we haven't. What if they could bring him back on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Although now he's started playing pseudo Mole Man over in Fan Force Stick.
That's right. He is. Fox has already grabbed him up.
Remember when we watched this a little while ago, I noticed that the first half is definitely a lot stronger than the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So in the deleted scenes, we find that Ty Burrell's character, the psychiatrist boyfriend of Betty, is supposed to be Doc Samson. I'm fine with him not being that character in the final cut, even though it does turn him into this weird sort of background figure, because Ty Burrell is not Doc Samson.
No.
He is a poor fit for that role.
Would he become Doc Samson in the sequel? I have no idea. I'm not sure if that would work with that casting necessarily. But don't get me wrong, I love Ty Burrell. He's cool. Modern Family and everything.
Not in this role. They could totally introduce Doc Samson on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. if they wanted to. If they want to get him in the story, maybe as a lead up to another Hulk movie. That'd be a really easy thing to do. Remember with General Ross, my biggest issue with the Hulk 90s cartoon was that Ross is an idiot.
Yes.
That the driving force of the story is that Ross is an idiot. He wants to get rid of the Hulk, but he's such a stiff-ass bureaucrat that he's always stopping Bruce.
And it is like once an episode. Every time Bruce is on the verge of finding a cure, Ross shows up to start shooting at him and messes everything up. So it's like if Ross would just, go home and stay there for like 1 month, the Hulk would be gone. Now in this movie, they managed to figure out a reason for it.
He doesn't want to get rid of the Hulk. He wants to, control the Hulk. He wants the Hulk's power. He wants to use it. He wants to replicate it.
He wants to weaponize it.
While Bruce wants to get rid of it. So that's the conflict. That's how you make a very simple conflict that can be the driving force of the story.
If I ever rewatch the cartoon, I'm going to use that as my headcanon so that I don't have to, roll my eyes in every episode whenever General Ross does anything.
In the film, Ross is still kind of an idiot, but
it's kind of part of his character.
We understand where he's coming from, where his solution for dealing with the Hulk is basically shooting at him until he runs out of bullets. And that is why bad stuff keeps happening. And even in the film, a lot of this has to do with, for him it's personal. He really can't think clearly, and he has a way of projecting that onto others. But for some reason, he's still in charge of this operation.
I like Incredible Hulk more than most.
But watching it now, I can understand why it's definitely nowhere near as good as the other ones.
If we had to, I'd probably rank it well below a lot of the other movies in the MCU. But I still think it's a good movie.
It is by no means a bad movie. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, I'd say check it out just for the sake of completion. But also because there's some really good thrills to be had here.